Hi there, beautiful people. So this reverse 5 of Wands came up the other day with a client, and I thought I'd share a meaning that came out in that reading, which was slightly different than any other way I've read this card before, but very applicable into our daily lives. And that's so. This is this is an ego clash. So ego clashes take place between ourselves and other people, and yet my continuous constant advice is to take a look and see what's clashing inside of yourself first of all, when this seems to happen on the outside, or when you seem to butt heads, or when there seems to be some type of conflict with other people on the outside. And in that moment when there is that conflict on the outside, it's really a beautiful and potentially healing process to go inwards and say to yourself, well, what's my ego saying here? What am I afraid of? What fears are coming up? What defensiveness is coming out? How am I trying to make myself more important? How am I afraid of being not seen, not heard? How do I want to be more special, more important? How am I not giving importance to myself? All these types of questions that come up from fragile individual insecurities that we all have, that are latent in our unconsciousness on many levels. So the unconsciousness is of our ego-ness. It wants to come to the surface when this comes out like that. But there's also a dynamic which came out in this reading, which was important, I felt, which was, here there is a huge amount of chaos, and this card is kind of chaotic. Lots of energy, lots of creative forces, everybody wanting to do their own thing, and sometimes you get a little bit of that in our lives, where we have lots of different desires clashing with each other. We have that defensive aspect of ourselves as well as that ambitious aspect of ourselves, all wanting to clash and be heard, and wanting to be more important, and wanting to have more attention, more of our conscious attention, so that we can manifest more, or defend ourselves more, or put boundaries where we need them, etc., etc. And these stories will come up with other people in our lives quite a lot. And quite often this message is about holding space for that chaos. So there's this wonderful balance between order and chaos inside of our psyche, and they say that the feminine is the chaotic, and the order is the more masculine nature. This is quite fiery, so that's kind of masculine, but it's also quite chaotic. So there's this outward going chaos that's wanting to push the boundaries of our capability to hold space and bring order to our lives. And this means that we're going to be challenged. We are being challenged to hold space for ourselves in a bigger way. We're being challenged to widen and broaden our arms and open the framework within which we can listen to ourselves, the framework with which we can hear our own inner chaos and our own inner fears, and really expand on that ability to hold space for ourselves, to bring order, to witness, to be calm inside of our inner chaos, and listen to what's going on without dissolving into the chaos and becoming chaotic. How can we then hold space for a greater amount of inner chaos, and consequently a greater amount of outer chaos in the world that's going to manifest in people wanting to run wild and push our boundaries and challenge us and test us and trigger us in all those different ways? When this happens, we becoming the witness, or becoming the space holder, and making that ability to hold space for ourselves bigger and broader, make our ability to accept and listen and just observe and be consciously aware of what's going on without reactivity, because there's a lot of reactivity here, without the reaction story. If we can do this in a greater way in our life, then this is a fantastic opportunity to learn how to broaden our capability to hold space for more of this world's chaos, and there's plenty of it. And this is a wonderful gift, and it's a wonderful practice, both inner and outer. Have a fantastic day. Love to hear your comments.